Well, greetings. It wasn't my intention originally to say anything about this dreadful Hancock business. I think enough has been said and the papers have been full of it, and I was just going to let it go, really, I suppose, in my normal lazy fashion, but I feel that I just can't do that now. Let me just run a few things past you, if I may. First of all, let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's rewind. Do you remember it was in my backyard, Market Wheaton, where a nurse was arrested by the police for trying to rescue her 97-year-old mother from an old people's home, which, because she couldn't get in to see her, they arrested her. Matt Hancock endorsed that. He went further than that. He said there should be custodial sentences for people who break the rules. Can you remember the carte blanche he gave the police to arrest all sorts of people going about their lawful business? Do you remember the woman in the park who was arrested for taking her dog for a walk? The way people sitting on park benches were moved on by the police, drunk with power given to them by Matt Hancock. The closure of the beaches, the defilement of beauty spots by the Derbyshire police. All of this instituted by Hancock. And of course we now know, don't we, after 14 months on and off lockdown, none of it's actually worked, because that's why we're still in lockdown. So all these things that we've had to put up with, dreadful things, and fascist dictatorship, martial law in our country that we've had, and we've been told who we can have in our houses at Christmas. We've been told we can't hug grandma and all that kind of thing, and it all stems from the same guy, Matt Hancock. Now he's been caught ignoring the whole rules, he's been ignoring everything, and it's now apparent that they all are. They all are, aren't they? We've seen pictures of Ascot with the royal family taking no notice of it. We've seen politicians thinking it's okay for VIPs to come and watch football. And the list is endless, and it's quite clear that there's one rule for us, and there's another rule for these people, and they're dreadful people. Now, I'd like to know what else he's been lying and cheating about. We're talking about a £38 billion track and trace system here. There's a cabinet who all seem to have access to people now who are supplying the NHS with all sorts of goods and services. I wonder where most of this £38 billion is going to. And it's my view that there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. And if you get a man who cheats on his wife and cheats on his family and cheats on the country, you'll find that he cheats in other ways as well, is my suspicion, and so will his mates. Now, the reason I decided to make a video about this is because I can see where the thing's going. I can see where it's going. The speech that the previous Secretary of State for Health made, Hunt, he was basically paying tribute to all the hard work that Hancock had done and what a wonderful man, and it's just one of those unfortunate things, he's been caught out, basically. Boris couldn't wait to get onto the doorstep when he'd been told that Hancock was philandering, and of course he said, oh, the matter, as far as I'm concerned, the matter's closed. Now he's apologised, that's the end of that. Well, Boris would, wouldn't he? He would, wouldn't he? The man's a serial philanderer himself. But, you know, excuse me being a little bit old-fashioned, you stand in the church with all your family and all your friends and you make a commitment in marriage. I know it's not fashionable to say so now, but you make a commitment. And he's just blown that aside. Everybody knew, it was an open secret he was having an affair with this woman, whatever her name is, Gina Lola Brigida or whatever it was, it doesn't matter. So he was cheating and everybody knew, and he was a Secretary of State, not even just an ordinary journeyman, awful politician. He was a Secretary of State. And they've been standing up in the Commons paying tribute to him, almost like he was just retiring after a lifetime's flawless service to the public and to his job and to the country, so and wish him well in retirement. Well, they haven't done that. There's no criticism of his behaviour at all. It seems to me that the only problem that he had with his fellow Conservatives is that he got caught. He got caught. Not that he's a crook, a liar and a cheat and a philanderer, all right? It's because he got caught. And Hunt actually said, did he not, that he has a place in public life and he'll be back. And he will be back. Take it from me, I'm never wrong on this kind of thing. We haven't seen the back of Hancock yet. He will come back in another form, probably, if not in government, and I expect it won't be in government, but ahead of some massive quango, maybe an international quango, on a salary that people like you watching and me, ordinary folk, can only dream of. It'll be hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. And everybody will not try and dig down too deeply about what he's been getting up to while he's been in office and presiding over basically the complete and total breakdown of the national health. Nobody's going to dig down because I think other people have their hand in the till. I think he knows too many secrets. I think he knows too much to actually kick him out forever. And the deal behind the scenes, I'm quite sure, will be, don't worry, wait till it all dies down. Everybody will have forgotten about this by Easter and you'll be able to come back in some form. Well, he shouldn't come back. He's a scoundrel. He's a wrong 'un. And I said so from the beginning. And he should never come back in public life at all, no matter what it is. I think we ought to see the last of him. And we're not talking about just, a little bit of a snog. Everybody had a bit of a snog at the Christmas party under the mistletoe. This is constant, permanent deceit from his family, from the country and everything else. He's gone, but he's got to stay gone. And I don't want to see him sliming back. And I think the Conservative Party Constituency Association, where he is in Suffolk, should take some action and not just let it roll over. Anyway, excuse my rant, but I'm angry. I'm pretty bloody angry. We've been kowtowing to this man for a year and he's been cheating all along. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based and I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.